Common theme to this series of videos is that if you're not getting the results that you believe you're entitled to, if you're not getting the return on investment of time and effort that you know you deserve because you're willing to trade time and effort and invest into training, or at least just being inside of a building called the gym, you're not getting the results you want, look in the fucking mirror and say, you let you down because you're the one who's in charge of what you do and how you do it. And the results that you want to get are entirely dependent on the way you're doing what you do. So the first video I gave a tip in terms of how to do the reps to increase the demand on the muscles that you're doing anyways. The second video I gave a tip in terms of how to exhaust the muscles to the best of their capacity. It's something a lot of people aren't doing. Today I want to talk about how to manage your effort to maximize the return on investment of time and effort that you are currently getting. So let's take a look at a traditional workout. For most people, exercises are performed in sequence as if they're just a list of chores, and fatigue limits successive efforts. So for the first exercise, you can approach it with a max effort, but every exercise you do after that, fatigue limits the amount of effort you could put forth. So by the end of the workout, you're putting forth a minimal effort or a limited one at best. So what's happening here is that every exercise you include into your strategy, number one, hopefully there's a purpose for it. There's a reason for it. You're doing it because you believe that the return you'll get on the investment is going to be worthwhile. So if that exercise is in your strategy for a reason, the way you do what you do will determine what you get from what you're doing. And if you can't approach that exercise or series of exercises with the intensity necessary to maximally promote the response that you want, then obviously it's going to limit the return that you get on your investment of time and effort. So for today's tip, divide the total workload over 2 to 3 separate workouts and perform them within a certain period of time so that the work is additive. If enough time passes, the work will not be additive and you're not going to promote the same response. This does not mean 2 or 3 full-blown workouts. It means the one workout you are going to do, but managing your efforts, segmenting the work that you are going to do so that you can approach each segment with a greater level of intensity than you normally would. So an example, and this is just an example, first workout, just one exercise, 10 sets of 2 to 3. You're trying to recruit the muscles to the best of your capacity. Go home, come back later. One more exercise, 5 sets of 4 to 6. Now we're trying to fatigue them a little bit more than we did earlier. Go home, come back later. Third workout, giant sets. Chain 5 to 6 exercises together for the same body part that you trained and do 3 rounds of 10 to 20 reps. The strategy here is to recruit and then fatigue. Obviously, you'll modify the parameters depending on what you're training for, and this is just an example. Now, if you can't make it to the gym 3 times in one day, that's understandable. Do A and B together and do 2 times in a day. But the point here is to manage your efforts, to segment the work that you're doing so that you could put forth a better effort to everything that you're going to do anyways. It's something that a lot of people are missing, and they go through their workouts as if it's a list of chores, and they just check off exercise after exercise, set and rep scheme, or whatever the fuck they're doing, and at the end of it, they think because they did their chores, they're entitled to a positive response. It doesn't fucking work like that. It's about how you do what you do. And if you divide up your workload, you can manage your effort in such a way that you put forth a greater effort. And the greater effort you put forth, the greater potential return on investment of time and effort you're going to get. A lot of people say, well, is that necessary though? I can't make it to the gym 3 times. But most people, if they find the time, because the time is there 24 hours in a day, we all have the same amount of time, they can make it twice. And if you channel your efforts accordingly, you can put forth a greater effort. And then people say, is it necessary? And then I'll say, how bad do you want it? You like the information, share it, click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel.